now instead of spending $5 on Fiverr, you might spend $5 promoting the video on YouTube itself, and not only getting 300 to 500 good views, but people might actually buy the product, and so you spend $5 and make back 50 or 100 or even 10, and so you're basically getting all of your views for free instead of just throwing money out the window to Fiverr to get a bunch of views that don't matter. The next thing that we talk about is backlinking, and this is another sore subject because a couple weeks ago there was a big update where videos were hit very hard if they were using a lot of bad backlinks, and there was a lot of people that would go to places like 1 Hour Backlinks and just buy a ton of crappy links, send them to their YouTube video, and in the past that would take you right to the top. Well, all of a sudden they've decided that, okay, we're really going to focus on people that are doing bad backlinks to videos, and they check those profiles, and when they see, on Monday you had no backlinks, on a Tuesday you suddenly had 10,000, and on a Wednesday you didn't have any new ones at all. Well, clearly you did something to get all those backlinks in one single day, and of course that that profile will immediately get bounced out of the Google search, and we've seen people that had very big videos that were making a lot of money just disappear out of search completely, and it was all because of bad backlinks. So we talk about that, and I don't know what, Tony, if you've seen this communication or not, but
I think
most of the time we don't even have to do backlinks to rank really well on Google with video.
Yeah,
we kind of use it almost as an afterthought nowadays.
Yeah, if you're doing the proper optimization and you've got a strong channel. Yeah, I've seen that happen before as well. I just, because I'm an SEO guy, I can't help but do backlinks anyway, especially bookmarking and some social links and stuff like that. But going back to the videos that disappear, I think really what's happening there is that they're using too much of the same anchor text, and I think that's a real issue with a lot of those.
That's another big part of it, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what's causing it, because we have seen some recent case studies where, there's been a ton of backlinks, unbelievable amounts of backlinks being sent to videos, and they're ranking very well. But the key factor there is that there's a variety in the anchor text. And that's really the two main things that really did change with SEO, and it seems to get forgotten, and there's a lot of scare stuff happens, where what really happened was the duplicate content on your site specifically was a major issue. There's a lot of people with really bad optimized sites as far as they've got a lot of duplicates, or they're indexing pages that really shouldn't be indexed and things like that. So these guys were getting sort of punished with some of the updates. And the other thing was too much anchor text. And the only way to sort of get around that, well, Google gave us a disavow tool. That's kind of okay, but it takes a long time to work. The real way to get around it, I mean, if those links are rubbish, they're not going to get counted anyway. What you really need to be doing is just building a whole bunch of other links with a more varied anchor text, and don't use that main one that you're really spamming the hell out of. That's really what has happened as far as what I can see, especially with some of the things that I've seen recently from Holly and some of the other people that we've been having on the interviews and webinars and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a good point to bring up. But really, there's a lot of a lot of people still don't get it with the anchor text variation. They're still doing too much with the same main keywords, and I think it's just a natural thing for them. They don't really understand that you can put a very little amount of the main keyword in there and still be ranking for it.
And the other thing that we've found with this is, what we've found that does work well for us is, we're spending more time getting quality backlinks.
Right.
So instead of the 1 hour backlinks, throw in 3 or 4 keywords and getting 1,000 backlinks from who knows where. Yeah. We actually try to get higher quality links. We try to get related links and just a fewer number. And I don't know. Again, I'm not an SEO guy. I'm a video person, video ranker, but that seems to be what's worked for us with videos since then. Again, and I break out the difference between social bookmarking and backlinking, because although technically they're pretty much the same type of thing, I treat them differently.
Yeah.
specifically because they have a different purpose, even though they're technically the same type of deal. And I find that, the big thing is with the social bookmarks, YouTube, I think, really loves those because, if you think about this, what's YouTube's goal? YouTube's goal is to use your content to get people on their site.
Yeah.
And so the social bookmarks, when you're doing them with the high-quality social sites, I'm not saying go to Fiverr and use the 700 social bookmarks where you've never heard of any of the stuff. About the high-quality sites, the really high-end ones, those are the ones that YouTube likes. I mean, heck, if you go into YouTube itself, they've got them underneath your videos, so you can share right inside there. So you know that that's something they want you to be doing. And so we've found that when we do that, that we get a lot of good results. And backlinks, traditional backlinks, the comment type stuff, isn't really necessary most of the time because we've got 50 or 100 really good social bookmarks that are technically in themselves backlinks.
Yeah.
And so that's a huge benefit. But when things are tough, that's when you go after a few of the extra. Get some of those EDU backlinks or backlinks from related authority sites and things of that nature. And that seems to do well for us. And then, of course, as we mentioned, search and click is our next step here. And this we've found is just nobody is teaching this yet, and hopefully they won't because we don't want to oversaturate it.
We started building a tool for it.
Nice. But it's huge. We've found, and this actually, this whole category here, the search and click, actually came from the fact that what we discovered was if we told a few people to search over, and we're talking like 5 people over a period of like a week, had them do that, all of a sudden the videos would jump. And we said, wow, that's really powerful. And so we put together a system where you can easily and very inexpensively, cheaper than Fiverr, get people to search and click on your videos, and you see a huge boost in that. And honestly, this to me is absolute pure gold because nobody is using this yet. It's such a new thing that, I can't stress enough how well that works for us and how exciting it is because it just kills it. It absolutely kills it. It is pure gold.
Ray, what sort of numbers are you doing there?
Silos.
I'm sorry. I think we got a little time delay, a little lag there. So I'm sorry for interrupting. What sort of numbers are you doing for the search and click?
Usually, I mean, something as simple as I'll have 5 or 10 people do it, and then maybe a few days later have 5 more people do it, that kind of thing. So it's nothing crazy, and it's very easy to do. And it's, I mean, we're talking, when you set this up, you're talking about giving people 10 cents. So if you get 5 people to do it, you're spending 50 cents to get people to get. And I mean, it's fantastic. It really is. And we've seen, like I said in the case study earlier, and we've done this with a few videos where, for whatever reason, another video I had was on page 1 forever, and a couple months ago, for whatever reason, it just suddenly dropped, and it dropped to page 3 and 4, and bounced back and forth between 3 and 4. And so I said, well, this is the perfect example of let's use search and click and see what happens. And we were able to, the first day that we did it, it jumped from that page 3, 4 thing to the top of page 2. And a couple days later, it was back on page 1. And that was after literally probably a couple months of it being stuck on 3 and 4. So it was a very effective technique for that. And with new videos, it's fantastic. So it's just a very, very powerful tool that nobody is teaching at this point.
Yeah.
So we're real excited about it.
We are building a tool. I'm going to name it after you, though. And nice. what we're doing is a search, a click, and a like. Yeah, so you don't even need to have a YouTube account. You can like without actually being logged into YouTube. That's what I've asked my guys to do anyway. And we might even attach it to the viewer as well, so they can take that an extra step. But yeah, we'll give you the credit for that.
Beautiful. And then the final piece here is silos. And Tony, you're familiar with this. You've already created a tool for helping people silo.
Yeah.
Well, actually, your tool does it a little bit different than
Yeah.
what we're talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about with the silos here, and let me actually hop back into our channel here. What we're doing with siloing is we're telling, we're taking the videos, and for instance, we got all these dentist videos here, so we're linking this dentist video to this one, and this one to this one, and this one to this one, and then back to the front again. And what that does is that builds a silo of all the dentist-related videos, all the bankruptcy-related videos. And you can do this, you just have to, when you get into your channel, just find things that make sense. Silo them together, and you're going to build all of those videos at the same time. They're all going to get that juice. And best of all, like I mentioned earlier, YouTube wants to keep people on their site as much as possible. And what you're doing when you create a silo inside of YouTube like that is you're creating links between video to video to video.
Yeah.
And if people follow those links, they're going to stay on YouTube longer, and they're going to give you a benefit for that. In fact, in the YouTube playbook, and I don't know if any of your guys have read that or not, but YouTube actually has what they call a playbook, which tells you all the things they want you to do. And one of the things they talk about is linking your videos together because it keeps people on YouTube. So this is an effective way of not only keeping your people on YouTube for your benefit, but YouTube's benefit, so they'll reward you for that. They really will, because they want to keep you on there. Now, I'm not saying that them liking that is going to make it better on Google. That's going to be for YouTube, but Google loves silos in general, so creating silos is going to boost it on YouTube as well, because that's something that works very well with Google right now. I mean, you see that in a lot of products, blogging products right now. It's a big thing to do silos, so it's a very, very effective way to get videos. And when you do, you're going to get your videos to page one. It works very, very well. So that's the basics. That's what you will get right out of the box, along with all of our bonuses. We've got bonus material in there. We've got, in fact, we're adding more bonuses today. There's a few people that have added a few things that we're going to drop in there. So we've got a lot of different bonus material from royalty-free music to help make your videos. We've got an iMovie training course in there. It's actually a little bit dated because iMovie just updated, but most of the principles in it are the same, even though it looks a little different. We've also got local videos that are pre-made. In fact, that's the, if we go back to this video here is one of those videos that I actually used for this. So I've put in there a bonus of these pre-made local videos. So there's a lawyer video, there's a real estate video, there's a pizza restaurant video, a salon video, etc., etc. So you can actually do what we've done here, go out, rank a bunch of videos without having to create the videos beforehand. You just make the minor modifications, and you can easily build up your profile and then rent out or sell those videos afterwards and make a pretty good buck off of that.
Yeah, Ray, I can't help noticing how many AdWords ads are there where you're sitting there at number one, and you've got all these people paying for those ads. And do you ever do lead generation where you're just you're passing on the lead to maybe one or more customers, and they're paying you per lead?
We've thought about doing that. The problem that I have with that is I know that I don't have the time to do it.
Right. Yeah.
And that I won't follow through with it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's actually quicker and easier to just rent this out for $100 or $200 a month than it is to deal with that. We have dealt with that in the past, and it's a great technique if you have the time to do it and you're willing to do it. But it's a lot of work. You have to really pay attention to it. Keep up with it and whatnot. So it's and of course you also deal with one issue, which is oh yeah, I got a phone call, but oh, it was a salesman, so I don't have to pay you for that. So you get a lot of that weirdness going on as well.
Yeah.
So it's for me, it's just easier to say, look, you can just have this video, and we'll link it directly to you.
Do you have any idea how much they are paying for those adverts? Do you know how much it costs per click, approximately?
Well, I'm not so sure on personal injury, but I know for some of the other niches that we're in with the lawyers, depending upon the city we're seeing where the clicks are anywhere from $7 to $50 a click, varying based on city. So, for instance, down in the bigger city here, Salt Lake City, people are paying $40 a click, $50 a click for certain lawyer-based keywords, and then in some of these areas here, they're paying more like $5, $6, $7. So it's pretty expensive, and personal injury, I would bet, is actually higher.
Yeah.
But I don't have the actual number. So, for instance, when we do bankruptcy, we know that it's in that range that I talked about there, and the same for DUI as well. That's runs around anywhere between $7 to $50 depending on the city.
Yeah. And so.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. People are paying a fortune to be here. I know for a fact that this guy here, I know he pays a ton of money every month for his SEO stuff.
Yeah.
And here we are. So, that's.
And you're above lawyers.com now. They're number 2, number 3, which is it must be quite an authority site with a domain name like that, lawyers.com, I would imagine. So this is all covered in the cost, yeah. Well, sorry to interrupt.
No,
what you've done here, you've taken a pre-recorded video that was already done. It's a template video, yeah, and you've just added some call to action telephone number on it. You've ranked it as a normal YouTube video, and you've got that ranking between, what was it, 1 in 5 days you mentioned to me before on Skype earlier.
Yeah, this city here was one. I think this one was probably an hour before it showed up, because this one is a smaller city. In our area, but still, even a smaller city. Look at all these ads. So there are people paying to be here. In the bigger cities, it probably took up to a week or so before they started to pop up. But most of them were popped up in a day or two.
What is a typical cost of a harder sort of keyword that you found? I mean, to get it ranking, if you're using services like only. What is the typical cost, you think, for doing this, as far as any additional costs? Say, for example, you're doing your search and click, you're using OnlyWire or whatever, just as an example, to be able to get something ranking.
Yeah. I mean, OnlyWire, you figure, is $12 a month, and typically I actually end up having to recharge it a couple times, so I might spend $40 in OnlyWire in a month, but that's for everything. So if you break it down, I mean, the OnlyWire charge associated with this might be 10 or 20 cents.
Yeah.
And the search and click, maybe another 50 cents to $1. Yeah, and that's pretty much it on this one. I mean,
yeah.
In fact, actually, with this one here, I don't even think we spent anything on it other than OnlyWire, because it just jumped to page 1 automatically, just because it was a smaller city.
Yeah, right.
Some of the other ones.
You do know that you can go into, if you got the $12.99 a month for OnlyWire, you can go into your account settings and update for 1 year for $49.
Yeah, but the problem with that is it's so limited that I'd still run out. So I'd still be recharging it all the time anyway. So it really wasn't a cost savings for me based on the amount.
Yeah. Okay.
Like when we did this here. This was before your tool came out, so all of these were OnlyWire. So literally, I think I ran through my entire OnlyWire account in about 10 minutes doing some of that.
Yeah.
Again, I find OnlyWire to be well worth it until your tool came out, which now that'll offset that cost quite a bit.
Yeah, we'll keep adding more sites into that. We've just got a couple other things that we've got to do first for the Commando HQ suite. Then we can add more sites into that. Do you ever use Social Adder or any of those social exchange type sites?
I have. My thought on that though is it's almost like you just kind of decide which one works best for you. Not even like physically which one does the best job, because they kind of do the same thing. It's just whichever one works best for you in the workflow. And I just find OnlyWire was very easy to use. You just quickly do it. Social Adder's not hard to use, but you do have to do things a little different. So I just found it.
Yeah.
I used both for a while, and then just kind of slowly phased out and stuck with OnlyWire. Just my personal preference, really, more than was results or anything like that.
I think the difference between them is social adder. They are using sort of real people's accounts. Well, they get the accounts made and they just automate the sharing and stuff. But I think what they're doing. I think what they're doing is more of a kind of resharing, a little bit like our social traffic commando type thing. And I think that might be what the main difference is between the bookmarking and social adder.
It is more varied.
Yeah, it's just they're doing retweets and stuff like that. But it's interesting stuff. But you know, it builds up the cost. I did I think about 3 times the top social adder in the last month, and it cost $37 a time, and it just goes really quickly, that kind of money.
Yep.
Yeah, I got so sick of it, I told my WordPress guy to go and to make it that we could just use it the same way as social adder can be used, that we can just have a page where we have, you put your URL, you put your title and description, because I got sick of paying this $37 every time I want to use it. It's crazy. Expensive. Anyway, shall we take some questions?
Absolutely.
Okay. Justin had a few questions here. It's a good question actually. What do you do when a video is stuck at 301 views, 301 views for months and won't budge?
You know, that's a great question, and here's the issue with that. When that has happened to me, you know, at first I used to freak out and be like, oh, it's stuck at 301. Oh no, did they discover something? You know, and most of the time, your situation there is kind of unique where it's just stuck there forever. And we've had videos that have done that. Honestly, I've just ignored it because it didn't seem to affect the results at all. We still get the same results. It was just a weird number. And so I just kind of ignored it. But basically what that typically is when you're getting views, YouTube has lots of different servers. And so they built in an algorithm where they freeze it at 301 and wait until all the information from different servers come in. You know, a lot of people talk about, oh, it's them checking to make sure they're not fake views, and that may be the case, but the actual algorithm for the 301 deals with the different servers trying to catch up with each other and then adding them up properly. And so chances are, and I haven't really seen a good definitive answer as to why when it gets stuck like that forever, why it does. Chances are it's probably some sort of an error with their counting system between the different servers, but that's a guess. But I haven't seen that affect anything as far as whether they'll rank or anything like that. So honestly, when it has done that, I've just ignored it and just moved on. But what I have discovered is that when you get the views through things like AdWords and stuff and such, that we don't see it freeze at the 301 anymore. When we used things like VagX, it always stopped at 301 every time. And, you know, usually for a day, and it would move on. But when we've used services in the past, we've seen that freeze. And since we've switched to doing AdWords, we haven't seen that freeze. So that's one little secret to that. And perhaps I haven't gone back to any of those that were stuck and run AdWords, but perhaps if you did, that would actually alleviate that. But it's tough to say for sure because I haven't actually tested that. And we haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to affect anything, so I've just kind of ignored it in the past, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't see it affecting rankings too much, to be honest. I think people go overboard with the amount of views that they get. And the next question is about that as well, again, from Justin. He's saying, is VagX still a safe alternative? And what similar service, if any, do you suggest?
Well, here's my thought on that. And I'll be completely honest with you. So far, when I've used VagX, I haven't had an issue. When I've used things like YT Nuke, bang, we got killed. However, I've talked to a few people recently who said they've been using YT Nuke without an issue, but we used it a couple times, and our videos immediately got pulled. Going back to just the last couple of months since they've made the changes. But VagX seems to still work, seems to be safe. But my issue is, what about tomorrow? Today it worked, but will that be an issue tomorrow? And, do we want to have a video, let's say, that's on page 1 here, that somebody's paying us $100 or $200 a month for, to suddenly disappear because, they figured out how to tell if it's coming from VagX. But what we found is, for the price of $5, the money you would have paid to Fiverr or whatever to get a bunch of views, you can use the AdWords platform and get a bunch of views that are legitimate, and you're never going to get hit for using AdWords. They're never going to complain about that because you're paying it. So that's kind of the way that I've looked at it. And even though I still have a Vagex account, and even though I haven't shut off the fact that they take money from me twice a month, I haven't really used it. I just kind of stopped using it. I keep it there. I've got a lot of credits built up, and I'm not using it, but I just haven't used it because that's more effective for us. And we've made money back. Instead of spending $5 just for views, we spent $5 for views and made a few sales, then it pays back. So it makes sense monetarily, and it makes sense for quality views so far.
Yeah, and you can set your budget as well, and you can get some of those ads very, very low cost as well.
Yeah, I do $5 a day to start.
Yeah,
and I may only for a lot of stuff I may only run that for a day or two, and that's it.
Yeah, and some people, they will go to Fiverr or somewhere and buy 30,000 views for the same $5. That's I don't know if it's just there's something very easy about Fiverr. I think they just don't have to do something, but it's the same work. If you think about it, you still got to put in those details. Once you've set up AdWords one time, then all you're doing is just creating an ad, and that's it.
You just click a couple buttons and you're done. It's really, once it's set up, it's really not any more difficult than going to Fiverr and doing the same thing. So
and Justin's asking, do you suggest using other backlink tools, or is Tony's backlink commando enough? I think you use quite a variety of tools. I see you do. What I like about it is when you're doing your emails and stuff, and when you're doing promotions, is you've always done a video with it showing how to use it and why it's good and stuff. But I like the way that you do that. I know that you get access to a lot of tools as we do as product creators, like review copies and stuff like that. Which ones have you found very effective?
Well, a few months ago, I used to use a lot of them. If I got my hands on one, I would use it because, let's face it, in 6 months ago, you could do whatever the heck you want to do a YouTube video. You'd never get in trouble for it. So why not? It didn't hurt you.
Yeah.
Well, now that it hurts you to do some of that stuff, I've backed off a lot of that. But one software that I found, and I know a lot of people bought this software, and then they started to kill it because they got in trouble using it, but it was because they abused it. I found that a great software was Video Vantage, and I'll tell you why. You have the potential to abuse the crap out of it if you wanted, but what it did was, if you used it a certain way, you could find the perfect high PR sites that actually matched your niche and put real content on it. So I used it much more for finding the right site to put it on. So for instance, if you had a video about weight loss, or even more specifically, let's say the Atkins diet, you could go into Video Vantage, put in Atkins diet, and it would show you 10 high quality, high PR sites about the Atkins diet, and you would go and you'd put real content with a link back, and you're never going to get killed for that.
Yeah.
You want to vary your anchor text still, but you're never going to get hurt for having 10 quality links from related sites. That's the epitome of what is natural. That's what you should get. If you weren't gaming the system at all, you should get decent links from related sites. If you've got a diet website, you've got links from a pet grooming website. It's not logical. And so when it the more logical it is. So I like that. And of course, I know you've got tools that do backlinking and stuff and whatnot. And of course, social bookmarks. Technically speaking, social bookmarks are backlinks, and usually that's enough for me. I typically don't just do backlinks out of the box. I'll get the video out there. I'll do the social bookmarking for those types of backlinks, and some of the search and click stuff. And then if I think it needs a boost, then I'll start getting the backlinking. But honestly, especially lately, I haven't even had to bother doing backlinking most of the time.
Yeah.
At least other than social bookmarks.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never actually that once the Video Vantage came out. That's when I was away for a few weeks when I wasn't well. I actually missed that whole launch. I don't even know what that software was about, but I saw it on JV's. It was one of the top sellers. I think they sold about 6,000 copies or something. So if it's still on sale, I better go and grab it and have a look. But Traffic Mice came out yesterday from Precious. Did you?
Yes.
Did you manage to use it? I had problem connecting it with my Google AdWords account.
A little bit, and I love some of the tools in there. I didn't really use anything for backlinking in there, but it's got some pretty good research tools in it,
Right.
and things like that that I like. And one of the things that it does, and this is one of the strange things about most of the YouTube software, is most of them don't show you backlinks.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever reason, and I'm not a programmer, so I'm not sure why, but even some of the older softwares that used to show you backlinks to your videos, now when you fire them up, they don't show them. It just says 0 or whatever.
Yeah, we had that problem as well, and sometimes it's just where you're getting the backlinks from videos. For videos, it's not everywhere you can get them. You can get it from Ahrefs, you can get it from Moz, I think, and
right.
There's one other, but it's working with their API keys and stuff like that. But actually, somebody sent me an email about that last night. You need to update ours in the Tube Research Commando tool because it is a very, very good function to have.
Yep, it definitely is.
Yeah.
But like I said, other than social bookmarks, which technically are backlinks, most of the for most of the sites, some of them are more embeds and backlinks. But yeah, honestly, I mean, I haven't really had to do a lot of backlinks other than that these days because between that and the search and click and all that, we get to page 1 and never have to do any backlinking to get there. But
yeah.
I like to do high quality edu, a few edu links, that kind of thing when I do backlink.
Yeah.
Not go too crazy.
I saw something that Chad Kimball had. You sent an email for Chad's got a course coming out, hasn't he? Black Hat video YouTube course or something, and I followed your link, and I was just browsing through his website, and he's got a service on there selling PR6 links, and I think they're Tumblr links, from what I could see, and he's not doing more than 4 links to a PR6 page, which is quite interesting the way he's doing it, but he's selling them at $250 each. But he's done a ton of case studies on it. Yeah, but it kind of makes sense because if you only got four links on there. But I'll tell you guys, another way to do this is to use the channel links because it can be very, very similar. You can find high page rank channels, for example, and nobody's really doing channel commenting. And if you're talking about doing blog commenting, you're talking about OBL, which is other people's links, yeah. What you want is to get a sort of low OBL. What Chad is doing is taking a PR6 Tumblr page or Tumblr blog post, so it's actually the page it's PR6, and so you've only got 4 links from the comments in there going out. Or I don't know, he might even be doing it contextual. I don't know. I didn't dig enough. But if you'd go and do the same thing with YouTube channels, and if you got Tube Research Commando, which is in the Commando HQ suite, and there's also the standalone version, you can find a whole ton of channels that have not even got any comments on them, and you can be doing that internal linking with YouTube. If it's costing $250, then I would rather be creative and find another way to do it.
Yep, and honestly, what we mentioned earlier, that's part of the goal with this channel here is to keep building it up with all these different videos, specifically so that when you put things on here, it'll have that kind of authority back to the actual video.
Yes.
Save the process. Like I said, I'm not even sure how many videos are on here, but I bet you it's probably 500 videos or so. That are on this page. I wouldn't be surprised. But, that's the whole goal behind it, because if you can get quality links from other people's channels, that's great. And even other videos. Now, typically, video pages aren't going to get PR5s, PR6s, but linking back from internal YouTube video pages is another great way to get a good quality internal backlink from YouTube itself.
Yeah, and you can, yeah, it does work very, very effectively, and you can automate it if you've got those tools as well. Okay, so let's take some more questions here. Dave's saying tell him to keep it short because I need my nap, and he said that right at the beginning of the webinar. That was 3 minutes, about 3 minutes after we started. Okay.
We'll try to keep it short because I actually do have other interviews that I have to get through today as well.
Okay.
So
okay.
we'll keep it short for you.
Okay. Herman's asking, do your local business customers get new leads for videos you create and that don't have any search counts? Wait a minute. I'm trying to understand what that means. Do your local business customers get new leads for videos you create that don't have any search counts? How would you be able to get customers with nobody watching? Search counts. Oh, search counts, not views, search counts. Sorry, I'm getting tired now. So I think what he's meaning is maybe in the local niches, the search volumes are not that high. Yeah.
That's absolutely true. But here's the way we look at it. And for instance, and you'll see on here, most of these videos here don't get a ton of views because they're not meant to be optimized. These are, for the most part, used to link back to the other video and to build the authority of the site itself or the channel itself. But for instance, when we talk about the lawyers, this lady right here, she actually gets about between 40 and 70 phone calls a month from her videos. And she, at one point, was closing between 20 and 30 new clients a month.
Wow.
So you think about that, that doesn't sound like a lot of people, 20 to 30 people, but when each one of those is spending $1,000 to $3,000 every time to file bankruptcy, you're talking about 20 times, $2,000. So it can be very lucrative. Or a plumber, we talked to some plumbers and we did some research on that, and the typical plumber, a customer call on average is about $300. Now, I was surprised when I heard that because, I think about, I've called the local plumber to fix a stop drain and he charged me $50. But most times when a plumber comes out, when you average it out between the $50 calls like that and, having to replace a water heater, their average call comes out to about $300 a month. So even if you get them 5 new customers, that's 300 times 5 plus any future revenue off of that. So you don't need huge volumes in order to make money for them.
Yeah.
What you need is you got to find the best quality keyword, and that can be tough in local niches because a lot of times a good local niche keyword, YouTube or Google rather, will tell you, oh, there's not enough data, not enough data, not enough data.
Yeah.
The reason for that is they want you to find a keyword that they can charge you more money for. So don't, and that's one thing to remember, that the keyword tool or the keyword planner now isn't meant for you to do SEO. It's meant to make them money through AdWords. So a lot of times they will give you false information on the cheaper keywords because they want you to buy a more expensive keyword. So, what I like to do is a couple of things for that. One of the most powerful tools inside of Google is the auto-suggest. And the reason for that is, if you start with, we pick a city like Ogden, Utah here, which some of these guys are from, you start putting in Ogden plumber, okay? And you can see here, before I finish this out, plumbing Ogden, Utah reviews. Well, the reason these are auto-suggests is because people actually type this in. So this is a great way. Now, some of these are weird. Kevin Ogden, I don't get that one, but for whatever reason, these are things that people are actually typing into Google's search box. And so you could get information directly from the search box. And I bet if you took this plumber Ogden, Utah reviews and plugged it into the keyword planner, I bet you it would tell you that, there's not enough data, or, the results are too low, or whatever. But in reality, because it's in here, people are actually typing this into the search box. So that's one way to find out. And of course, when you go to search these types of things, if there are ads being run, and clearly there are, then, people would pay to be somewhere where it doesn't make sense to pay. If they're not making money back, they're not going to pay money to be here. Yeah. So that it's a keyword that people are willing to pay for. So with local stuff, you have to do little tricks like that, just because the numbers are a lot lower than, how to lose weight.
Yeah, I think what people need to take into consideration as well is the lifetime value of the customer. Once they've got access to that particular business or service, the lifetime value of the customer, if he gives them good service and they're happy with the work, they will go back to him time and again if they had a good experience. So you've got to take into consideration the lifetime value, not just how much do we get on one job, if it's a plumber or chiropractor or whatever. The lifetime value can actually be very, very high for some of these, even if it's very low volume keyword search, especially for the local stuff. Yeah, it was a good explanation, Ray, thanks for that. And Dirk is asking, how long did it take to rank for sort of major cities? What sort of major cities are you ranking for, say, for example, for lawyers?
We've actually got some stuff that we've done in Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, which Salt Lake City is not it's a top 30 city or something like that. So it's not New York or Detroit or Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, but it's a pretty big city, and even in those types of cities, you still within a couple of weeks you can get videos to page 1 out of those cities. Most of that, I don't live that close to a major city, so a lot of the people we deal with are in smaller cities. But we've done things in bigger cities, and it's still very effective. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, but what would be the time from start to finish you setting up a campaign doing this?
Typically, when it came to creating the videos, if we go that far back, because we had those pre-made videos, we were able to bust out 40 of those videos in a day. So that didn't take very long to do that. Obviously, I think the longest part of the process was just getting them all uploaded. But once we uploaded them, a lot of them used the same description, just maybe spun a little bit, changed the city. And so, you're talking probably, it took me, throughout the course of a week, I probably got the 40 videos up there. Not 8 hours a day for that week, but, doing a few here, then doing a few more later, that sort of thing. So it's a fairly quick process. I started out doing just the DUI lawyers, I believe was the first one I did. So I uploaded the 20 of those first, optimized those 20, and within a couple of days, those were already ranking as we were uploading the personal injury ones. And then we also did general lawyer ones as well. And so, you're talking within a week, you can get a good number of those videos up there, and hopefully within a few days, they'll start ranking in the cities.
Yeah. So if you're using one of those pre-made templates, where do you get those from? You've got some as a bonus, you said, inside the course?
I do, yeah. Inside there, I've got a bonus of a set of those videos. So we've got restaurants and real estate and plumbers and lawyers and a few other things in there. Excuse me. So those are already in there. But we also get, actually, a good friend of ours, Justin, he makes a lot of those. So some of his products actually have local videos like that in his products. I forget the name of the product that he had just a short while ago. He had a bunch of them. And then we've also found there was a product recently. It was PowerPoint templates that were turned into videos. They were actually really well done.
Was that Monica?
I
think it was Monica who did those.
I can't remember, but those were actually really, really well done, especially for PowerPoint. I was actually surprised at how good those videos were. Yeah. And she had a bunch of those, or he, or whoever it was, had a bunch of those in there as well. So if you search around, even in, just go to the Warrior Forum, look at the WXO section. They've got some of those out there that you can create pretty quickly and easily. And of course, if you've got good video chops, you can make some. Or even another one, a Video Jack. I used Video Jack to create as well. So.
Yeah, I like Video Jack. It's just so easy to use, and it's really, really quick. So you're using a pre-recorded video, you're optimizing your title and stuff like that. You've already got your channel by then, probably, I would imagine, set up, and optimizing that. Do you optimize the file name and stuff like that as well? With all the video?
Absolutely. That's step one of the course is dealing just with that.
Yeah.
You know, you want to name your file with the keyword, and that's another great one, which actually we want to put up a case study on that, because Real SEO had an article recently that it made no difference. And, you know, I wrote back to them because I totally disagreed, and here's the reason why. Will it necessarily improve your ranking? Well, that by itself is a little tough to say, because you do so many things that you never know. Yeah. However, what we have noticed is a couple of things. Is when you upload a video with that file, you'll notice that when you see recommended videos on the side, a lot of times they will be instantly related videos to that file. And that's before you've really done any work on it. So clearly, they're using that file name in some form or fashion because they can relate it to other videos that are similar. And we actually did a little mini experiment one time where we uploaded a file with a name of something else, and you know, and then changed the title to what it really was and everything. And the suggested videos matched the file name. So clearly, they do take that into account somewhere in there, and they are keeping that information. So it does make a difference. And the other thing too is, you know, when you name your file with that file name, when you upload the video, that title will take on the file. And we actually saw issues with that. This was another unplanned experiment. We actually were doing a bunch of videos for locksmiths. And so what we had was one locksmith video similar to the lawyer videos, where we chose like 5 or 6 cities across the U.S. We had like Miami and Boston and Boise and Las Vegas and whatnot. And they were the same video, just changed the name of the city into it. And we uploaded them to YouTube. And when I did it, I uploaded the video, you know, multiple times, and I took the first one, which was, I believe it was Las Vegas. So it was Las Vegas locksmith, blah, 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 blah. I copied that, pasted it on all the videos, and then just went back and changed the city, you know. Well, what we found was, because YouTube is so fast at indexing your videos, and Google is so fast at indexing those videos, that a day later, all the videos were ranking for Las Vegas. Even though they said Austin, Boise, you know, Miami, Columbus, they were all ranking in Las Vegas. And it was like, oh crap. And that's when we started the policy of, when you upload your videos, you turn them to private, so that it doesn't index them until you're ready.
Yeah.
And it took, you know, so it ended up taking like a week before they were re-indexed and into the proper cities. And so that was a lesson learned there. Now, YouTube just recently changed things, although I still upload them as private just in case. YouTube now has the system set where you upload your video, then you tell them, okay, go. And so the belief is that, you know, they're not indexing it until you tell them to go for it now. But we still upload as private just in case until we're ready, because of that situation.
And
we were worried. You know, we didn't have a lot of time to get these things ranked for this show that we were doing. We're all ranking for Las Vegas.
Yeah. When you're doing those videos, sorry, I think you have got like a 2-second or 1-second delay there. But when I've got a question here, do you change the properties for every single video? I think what he's meaning is, if you're using the same video template, you're probably changing out some things like colors or call to action or something like that. So are you changing the properties of every single one of those then?
Well, what's cool about that set that's in there as the bonus that we use for like the lawyer videos is they actually have like 5 different versions of it.
Oh, brilliant!
One is purple, one is black, one is red, and so they're you know, we would just take all of those. I'm using Final Cut, so I would create the first one, and then I would just take the black one and just replace the other one, so we could very quickly replace them. But here's what the deal is with the duplicate content. YouTube themselves, if you upload the exact same video into your own channel twice, it's going to say, hey, this is the same video, and it's going to kick it out. However, YouTube themselves have given the advice that, oh, if you need to have the same video in there twice, make it a little bit longer, or change the bit rate that you render it out at.
Yeah.
And that tends to work. Now, personally for me, I just like to make a few changes. So, and the other thing too is in those local videos, there's a British voice and an American voice, so you can mix those up as well. And so there's a few different ways to make that vary it up a little bit when you're doing all of those. But technically speaking, as long as the video is slightly different, it shouldn't be an issue. And the other thing too is, if you take the same video and put it on 2 different channels, it's not considered duplicate content. You can do that because it's 2 different channels. However, we still tend to like to mix it up just because you never know when things are going to change or whatever. So
I actually seen something when I was testing the trip silo command. I was trying to put the same video onto the same different channels, but they were a multi-channel account, and it was just the exact same video. I didn't change any bite size or anything like that, and it was rejecting those videos
really?
for duplicate content. Yeah.
With the multi-channel, that may be the case now, and that I'm not sure of.
Yeah.
I know in the old days, 2 separate ones when you didn't have multi-channels, it didn't have an issue with that. The only issue it did have was sometimes it would tell you in the search, it would say, oh, there's other similar videos that we didn't show. Click here if you want to see them. So you did run the risk of getting that happening. But yeah, when it was 2 separate Gmail accounts and everything, we never had that issue. But
Yeah.
we do like to mix it up for exactly what you're talking about, which is sometimes things change. So we might as well make
You got to be prepared, and you don't get surprised that way. Okay, let's go back to some of these questions. John's asking what was the contest question again. I'll tell you the question, but don't give me the answer to the end because I've got no way of picking a winner if everybody starts answering at different points in the sort of question box here. The question was, what happened was, I asked Ray what was in the sales funnel for Mark Olson's product. Mark Olson has got a really, really good product coming out. And I think you've done some kind of soft launch with that tomorrow, is it, Ray? Yeah. And
it was either going to be today or tomorrow, so it's coming soon. We're going to do the soft.
Yeah. And I asked what was the upsells, and he told me it's something called Trip Director. But I think it was you were doing that from your telephone, and it was an autocorrect.
It's supposed to say to detective.
Yeah.
It switched to director for some reason.
Yeah, and I said that's a brilliant name for a software. We were trying to come up with for a name for a software that we've been working on together that we're going to release probably the week after next or something like that. We could do a soft launch on that one, and so that's what happened. So what the question was, if you can guess what that particular software does, okay, I will give you a copy of that software, and I will buy a copy of Ray's course that he's been talking about tonight for you. Okay, it's just a bit of fun on that one, but answer me at the end when I ask a question. Otherwise, I can't pick a winner because I need to see them coming through at the same time. Okay, so Herman's asking, do you include multiple cities in description instead of one video per city? So I think what it means is using one video and doing multiple cities in the titles and stuff like that. Yeah.
What we've done, and you can do this a variety of ways. In some cases, we've done that where, now, when you're talking about the title, which the title of your video is probably the most important part, is that's where they initially get what this video is about. The other stuff, the tags, the descriptions are important, but that title is vital. It's good. The title is vital. I'm going to have to steal that now. But what we've done in the past is, sometimes we'll focus that video towards one city, but in the description we might put other cities to get a little bit of traffic out of that. Or in some cases, if it's 2 cities that are close together, in the title we might mention both of the cities, but because the title is such an important part of it, we tend to focus on one main city in there. And we have done the opposite as well, which is, for instance, in the case here, this one here, we've got 10 different channels for 10 different cities, and these videos are essentially the same, except for minor differences. And so they're we've got the same 10 videos in 10 different cities, and so that's how we've done it there. So we've done it both ways. It just depends on the type of traffic that you can really benefit from, and if you're trying to just bring in a little bit of traffic from some of those other surrounding cities, or if you really are trying to focus on some of those other cities. And to me, I like more content rather than less. So a lot of times I will opt for doing more videos in a different city and just really focusing on that city, just because to me that if it's the return that makes sense, then it's worth it. If you're in a small area, a lot of times you don't even have to mention the other small cities around it. It'll just show up there anyway. In fact, if we put, let's see if this is still the case. Let me tell you, the Brigham City bankruptcy lawyer used to be filled with, we'll see if it still is, this is a while back, I haven't checked this in ages, so this might be a big fail here, we'll see. Yeah, it's not there now. We used to actually, believe it or not, have like 6 videos when you search Brigham City bankruptcy lawyers. And we didn't have a client in there, but 6 of our videos showed up here anyway. That's not the case anymore. They cleaned it up, I guess. But in the old days, we actually had a bunch of videos from a different city that would show up inside Brigham because of that. So if you've got small cities, you may get that automatically. But if you mention some of the surrounding cities in the description, a lot of times we pull it in that way. And of course, if it's worth it, it's worth really ranking for. I like to just do 2 videos and do them in both cities. Just makes more sense for me in a lot of cases that way. But it just depends on, is somebody willing to pay you to do it twice? Is, I guess, the biggest part of that as well. You still there? Hello, Tony. I don't know if anybody can hear me anymore.
I'm here. I had bumped the earphone plug thing in the socket, and I kind of lost myself for a second. And I had muted myself as well. So even when I started talking, you were still saying you're there because I hadn't unmuted myself. Okay. I'm back. All right, so let's see what else we got here for questions. Scott Bender asking, can you please elaborate on renting out the videos? So I guess what he means is the strategies, and the obvious things to look for is obviously the people who are paying a lot of money for the AdWords there. And once you've got something ranking,
what we're doing is we just go out and we contact lawyers and just say, hey, we've got videos on page 1 here. Are you interested in getting the leads? And a lot of times, because what we'll do is we'll attach that video to like a Twilio account or Callfire account, and so we can show them, hey, look, this is getting phone calls. And in our case, because we're lazy, we don't want to sell the leads and deal with all that garbage. We tell them it's getting phones, but they're not going anywhere. They're just going into the ether. Nobody's answering. So that's one way that we do that. And one thing that I found effective is these videos were experimental, so we were doing them more for experimental purposes than we were really for selling them, although that's what we're going to do. I went to a BNI meeting last week, and there was a lawyer there, and we're going to meet with him. He may buy all of them. So, it's very effective, especially if they've got a high-priced clientele. It's very, very effective for them. And so you can sell them fairly easily. And we have done that in the past where we've ranked the stuff first and then sold it off. You're just contacting people and letting them know, hey, we've got this here. We've got leads coming in. We don't have anywhere to send them. Do you want those leads? Absolutely. And then you just charge them a monthly fee. Typically, we do $100 or $200 a month. Nothing crazy. And, it sells pretty quick.
Yeah, it sounds quite good. Are you still there? Because I lost. Oh, yeah. I can hear you now.
Oh, I'm still here.
Yeah. Justin asking, how do you set up categories? You're doing that via playlist, yeah.
Yeah, inside of you can do it playlists, and actually in the I don't have the channel up here anymore. Let's see, figure out which tab that was in. But inside of your YouTube channel, they have what they call sections now.
Yeah.
And inside of these sections, you can actually build up those little playlist type deals. And you can do it by playlist even. So you can create a playlist and then create a a section based off of a playlist. You can also do it off of keywords. And so let me just head back here. We'll go to this guy's channel here. So you can see this is a, yeah, you can see that really, this one's not very well optimized on the channel, but you know, you can add these different sections like this below these videos and break them up by different categories like we did on that other site. And so that's just one way to be able to do that. And you can do it by playlist, you can do it by keyword, you can do it by recent uploads. You know, there's all sorts of different ways to do that. You can even have a favorites section. So if you've got a channel and you don't have a lot of content yet, you can do favorites and actually have more content on your channel based on other people's work. So that's another thing you can do there. So that's just one way to categorize things out, is through the sections.
Yeah, and that's a pretty effective way of doing the silos as well. And the playlist, in that new playlist builder that we, well, new, it's kind of 3 or 4 months old now, but we built in a section where you can actually just do a search for a particular keyword. But an easy way to do it that I found is if you create a unique tag for a particular sort of section of videos within your channel, then you can easily just do it like that, and you just checkbox them and create a playlist really fast like that. And what I also do now is when I'm uploading a video, I always just add it into a playlist or create a new one, and I've just got in the habit of doing that now, so it makes it really, really easy to have that done just as and when you're adding videos. It takes 2 seconds anyway.
Yep, and one other little trick too is, you know, when you create a playlist inside of YouTube is treated the same as an actual video. So you can actually do a lot of the same SEO techniques you would do for a video for a playlist itself and get double the benefit.
Yeah. I think I was link wheeling playlists at one time. I went through a really bad link wheel phase. I couldn't stop myself. I was link wheeling playlists as well. I can't remember exactly how I did it. I think it was something to do with Google Plus, and I don't know. I'm just playing around, experimenting with stuff. But yeah, you can rank playlists, and they will rank really, really well if they've got really good sort of relevant videos in there. Okay, what's the next question? How many keywords per niche do you target in the video description and channel descriptions? Keywords and channel descriptions and keywords and video descriptions. Well,
what I like to do with that is I like to go after, on a per video basis, I like to go after one main keyword.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is we'll put other keywords in there, but I like to focus on one keyword at it. And the way I see it is, if you've got 4 or 5 keywords that really are good, then you might as well make 4 or 5 videos. And that's kind of the way that I look at it. But you know, you can go after more than one, but again, the big thing is the title. You know, you don't want to start stuffing it with a variety of keywords, because that's one of the other things that got people into a lot of issues with, not so much trouble, but when the algorithms changed, and the Google algorithms changed, one of the things they changed for, and I think it was Hummingbird, was people are starting to search with their voice. And so they've started to rank things based off of more plain text, you know, speak, the way people speak. And so, like you can see here, this one, Ogden, Utah plumbers, bar, find BBB accredited plumbers, you know, that kind of stuff is slowly starting to go away, because it's not, you know, people don't search that way, you know. So that's what hurt a lot of the videos and stuff when those things changed, was the titles were not plain speak. And what we found was that a lot of the clients that we deal with, we do FAQ style videos where the videos are, you know, things like, you know, what is a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, or, you know, can I save my home if I file Chapter 13? And so because those are very plain sounding, you know, plain speak sounding things, we didn't see any real loss in our videos, because the update actually benefited those types of things. So what we like to do is try to stick to one main keyword, get that one main keyword into our title, and you know, on occasion, if it makes sense and it sounds right, we can get 2 in there, but we try to stick with one and build from there. Now inside the description, obviously we get other keywords in, and in the tags we get other keywords in, but we try to focus on one main keyword per video. And then, if, like I said, if you've got 5 great keywords, do 5 great videos because it's well worth it.
Yeah, and another thing that you can do as well, guys, is if you put your seed keyword into the Google Keyword Planner, it will give you groups of keywords, yeah, and you can find out, what is closely sort of related to that particular seed keyword just from the groups, and take some of the keywords from that group and build it into your title and into your description as well, and that kind of helps, and it's good for using for getting sort of tag ideas as well for the tags for the videos as well, and that way you're just keeping it relevant. So you're letting Google tell you how to optimize that way, because that's what it's telling you is what it thinks is related to that particular keyword. It's even grouped them for you in a nice neat little bundle that you can just build your content around that, and that's one way to do it. It's just super simple. Okay, let's see with the other questions here. Scott is asking what is the search and click technique, and Dave is asking YouTube ads for search and click. I'm not quite sure what that means, but that sounds interesting. Search and click, Scott, do you want to address that, Ray? What is search and click?
Yeah, essentially, in fact, I'll show you basically what it is. For instance, if you've got, let's say, we want to boost, I've got a video here, so free website graphics. So you literally search that keyword, and when it comes up inside of Google, you see this is another case here. You see how when I'm logged in, this actually moves down because I'm logged in, which you think would make no sense. But literally, you searched for that keyword, you found the video, you click on it, and that tells YouTube instantly or Google instantly that people are for that keyword and going after it. So that's a big, a big part of ranking is providing quality results. And if people are searching for something and clicking on something, then clearly the people are saying, hey, this is a relevant result. This is what, when I search this term, this is what I'm looking for. And so because of that, they want to provide the best results. They do that. And so that's what that basically is. And inside the course, we teach you a way to get other people to do that for you, so that because obviously you can't just do it yourself from your account 10 times and have it work, because they know it's just you doing it from the same Google account or the same IP. So you're getting other people to do that for you from different parts of the country or different parts of the world, from different locations and different IPs and different Google accounts. And so it just helps to boost very quickly. And that works inside of YouTube as well, by the way. So you can actually have people search in YouTube and do the same thing. Oh, still on. Hopefully you guys can still hear me, but
yeah.
The second part of that question.
Sorry, I was talking and I forgot I muted myself again. It's I've been awake since about 4 in the morning, so I'm a little bit not alert at the moment. You mentioned about doing that inside YouTube as well, which is really good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like I said, you can do that in it doesn't have to be Google either. You can do that in Bing. You can do that in Yahoo. The same type of effectiveness. We've tested it with. In fact, we've tested similar types of things for a different purpose with the Amazon search for products, and it's very effective for getting products to show up as well.
That's interesting.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Ray, we've still got a ton of questions here. I don't know how you are for time, but we've got a ton of questions here, so I don't know if you want to, if you can manage to fit them in, or how we're going to do it, because we've probably been going on for...
Yeah, let's
okay. All right.
Hit a few more.
Yeah, okay. Let's see, because we've got some very good questions in here. Now, Dave mentioned YouTube ads for search and click. I don't know how that would work. I think maybe Dave didn't really understand what the method was, because you're just searching on the...
Yeah,
you don't want to be clicking on your YouTube ad. That's going to cost you money.
That's definitely true. I'm sure that's not what he's trying to get at, but yeah, it's a little bit different. The ads are fantastic for getting views and often for getting sales. But the search and click is totally a separate thing that you do with other sites, a lot of the micro sites and things like that will help you out with that stuff.
And there's Denisha is asking, is there a software you use to make the multiple videos? She says she bought your other course. Is that the course, or is it a new course? This is a new course that Ray has done. I think she might be talking about YouTube Interactive.
Well, she could be, or last year we did a ranking course, and obviously everything has changed since then, which is why we're doing a totally new version. And believe me, when I say totally new, I mean this is very, very different from last year, other than obviously, proper optimization of your titles, tags, and descriptions has been changed, but a lot of the other supporting stuff has changed quite a bit. And obviously we've got techniques that didn't exist back then. There you go.
Yeah. What software do you use to make the videos, Ray? Camtasia, or how are you doing them?
For those, I actually used Final Cut Pro because like I said, I'm actually a video person, so I use higher end video production equipment. But this can be done with pretty much anything. You can use Camtasia, ScreenFlow, iMovie. I never recommend Windows Movie Maker just because it's actually a lot more limited than I ever thought it was. So you want to kind of stay away from that in a lot of cases. But most of the software and video things will take care of you on that. Adobe Premiere, Premiere Elements to be able to help you. So anything that you use should be pretty effective.
And Dave is asking, he already owns Video Ranking Machine, and is this something different? No, it's the same cost, Dave. Video Ranking Machine.
Yeah, if you bought it in the last week or so, then yeah, that's the same course.
Yeah, it's just that you're just adding more stuff into it, bonuses and.
We are for the big one. Yeah, so if you've already got it, be sure to keep logging in because we are adding some bonuses. I should be sending out a message today if I have 5 minutes to breathe and do it to all the members to let them know that there's more stuff that's added in, as well as we've added a new case study in there that we promised to be in there. That's in there now. And I've been trying to send a message out to everybody for like 2 days, and I've been so busy trying to get this ready that I'm like, oh crap. We'll try to get that out to everybody as soon as possible. But yeah, keep logging in because there are new bonuses being added in there as well as some other things as well. So, and it'll keep changing too because as the one thing we know with YouTube and Google is that things are going to change, and as they do, we'll be making modifications based off of that. Hopefully a lot of the stuff that's in there now won't need to change because we're trying to stay a lot more white hat, not doing too many crazy tricks or anything. Probably the biggest quote-unquote trick would be the search and click, but even that is, that's pretty mild compared to what we used to do. So.
Demented searcher. And Denisha again asking, is there a tool to make multi-style versions of the same video?
Honestly, not that I know of, but at least not specifically for that. But honestly, I mean, once you take, for instance, the videos that are in there that are pre-made, you literally just put it into your software and change the phone number, add the phone number in there, and then render it out, and then just change the phone number and do it again. So you're talking seconds to really do, a minute or two to make any changes that you need to do. It's not super hard. And in some of the software, like for instance in Final Cut, I literally create it once and just hit duplicate and just go in and make the minor changes on each one and we're done. So it's very, very quick once you do that.
And you can always spin the videos as well if you want to do it that way, if you want to just make different bite sizes.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that, I remember there was actually a software a while back. I can't remember the name of it, but literally it would just take your video and add a few seconds to the end or cut a second off, and it would do that for you automatically and make a bunch of versions. But of course, everything would be the same, so you wouldn't change the phone number and all that. It would just literally be changing the
Just changing the bite size. I've got one that does it actually, and if you want to add that as a bonus, I'll get my coder to separate that. It's actually part of the HQ suite, the spinner. We can make a standalone version if you want to add that into the course as a bonus for people to use. If you remind me before you get into your big launch, I think you got the launch this weekend coming up. Yeah.
Well, this launch is actually tomorrow morning. I know your guys,
okay.
A lot of you guys have already had early access. So
yeah.
They probably don't care when it launches anymore because they've already got it. But if you don't have it, the full launch will be tomorrow at 11. So it's coming very quickly.
Okay. If you remind me, I would separate that spinner for you, and you can add that to your new customers for bonus.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay. And let's see what else. Dirk's saying I haven't used backlinks. That's fine, Dirk. If you're ranking with that, then great. That saves you money, saves you time.
I'm really not using them most of the time now either. So.
And Dirk's saying private blog network in the niche have video embedded as well. Video embeds. Do you do much with syndication stuff?
Yeah, I do. That's one of the sections in there is syndication. Although we're mostly talking about other video sites. But yeah, I mean, anytime you can embed a video somewhere, that's great. I don't typically go out of my way crazy about doing that, and the reason for that is mostly because it tends to be a little more work, and quite frankly, it's just hasn't been necessary. I know a lot of people teach that, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's definitely helpful, so embed it when you can. But it just seems to me it's a lot of extra work for reward that you don't necessarily need.
Yeah, there's so many ways to rank stuff in videos. There's just so many ways, and one of the most common questions I get is, how do you use all of these softwares together? Like there should be a pattern, and it's really not meant to be a pattern. I designed those softwares just because I like creating strategies, and I like to have fun when doing that kind of stuff. And if I'm ranking, I hate to go through the same thing every time. And there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. So you can use a multitude of different ways to rank videos, and because they're just not that hard to rank, to be quite frank. You can do it even without the backlinks. You can do it using backlinks. You can do it using embeds, and that's basically the way I built up Commando HQ. You've got multiple ways to do stuff. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. Lisa's saying don't share too much about search and click. It's a powerful method. So Lisa, I'm presuming you've used it, and you got that from Ray, so that's good feedback to have. John is asking, is all this in VRM? Yeah, I think most of this is in VRM, is an abbreviation for the course, I think. Let's see what else. Dirk is saying he's been doing this for over 8 years with brand new websites. Search and click works great. Okay, well, that's great. If it's something that's been around for a while, it's kind of new for me. I never heard of it before, so great. And
I'll tell you, the history of that with us is come from two directions. The search and click technique was actually being used for something completely different, and what we were doing, it's a part of the process that we do for dealing with search box. So for instance, what we've learned to do is, one of my partners in my local business stuff, he knows how to manipulate the search box. So for instance, when you come up here and you start typing in Ogden Dentist, you'll see that within a few clicks here, oops, I didn't spell it right, you can see right here, this is our client in the auto-suggest. And what we figured out how to do is to manipulate this to make sure that our clients show up here. And search and click is a portion of how that gets accomplished.
Yeah.
And I said, boy, that would probably be great for videos. And at the same time, somebody who is an SEO I was talking to on a different subject talked about how if you just do a search and a click, that you'll move up the rankings quickly. And so I said, well, that makes a lot of sense on both sides of that. So we took the actual search and click and the techniques we use for getting search and click on the search box optimization and put together this for video, and it worked extremely well. And so that's how that came about. Almost accidentally.
And Dirk actually has gone on to mention a few times in here about some things. He's saying that Google loves it because it gives them time to render more ads, which kind of makes sense. And he's in the ballpark 50 to 75, so I think he's talking about 50 to 75 times during that search and click. That's good feedback. Thanks, Dirk, for that. And Keith is asking, will we have a recording? Yeah, actually, I've got a confession to make. I missed the first 20 minutes of recording. We just got into a chat, and I looked up and I realized we were not recording, so unfortunately you missed the first 20 minutes of recording of that as well. My apologies, but it's still been great content since then anyway. Let's see. Is there any before you start info, sort of preparation stuff? For example, is it important to clear cookies and cache before uploading the client video, or do we need to go through some steps prior to setting up a new channel? Do you cover channel optimization in that course?
In this course, we don't cover that. We do have, in the back end, we do have our larger YouTube course that covers everything from setting up your Gmail account to putting together your channel and creating the graphics for it and all of that stuff. But this is very much focused on from uploading your video to getting to page 1. So it's a shorter course specific on that particular subject. But the back end has the full grand YouTube YouTube training course if that's the direction you need to go. So that is available as well for you.
Yeah. So that was a question by Dan. What is the name of that course, Ray? The one that's on the
it's YouTube Market Crusher.
And that covers all of that stuff, the channel optimization and
everything from creating your channel, optimizing your channel, connecting it. All the interactive stuff is in that main course.
Cool.
So it's all inside there.
Yeah, that sounds like a really big course.
Yeah, well, it can be, but the great thing about it is, you go through that. If you're a newbie, you're going to come out of that being one of the YouTube experts, because most people have no clue on a lot of that stuff. So you can go from nothing to expert pretty quickly with that.
Yeah, and Dean Hall asking, does your particular channel name add any juice to the equation? I think you did a case study on this in the course, didn't you? About a strong channel and a weak channel optimization.
Yeah, absolutely. What we did was, one of the, again, this came from a real SEO, the same real SEO article we mentioned earlier, where they said that the strength of your channel really doesn't make any difference.
Really?
And
Whoa.
we did an experiment with that, where we took one of the videos inside of the local video thing. We created 3 versions. We uploaded one to a weak channel, we uploaded one to a very strong channel, and we uploaded one to a medium channel. And wouldn't you know it, in the rankings, the strong channel showed up #1, the medium channel #2, and the weak channel was #3.
Yeah.
Now, the great thing is, those 3 videos outranked everybody else that was going but it fell in order like that. The only bad part about that is apparently we ticked some local people off because all of a sudden one of the videos started getting flagged.
Oh, really? Oh,
so it actually got removed from the search. So I'm like, yeah, this is totally offensive. I can see why you would flag this video here,
It's crazy. They tend to remove them without even properly checking them as well. Otherwise, they would say there's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah, and I didn't even fight it because, it was just for fun and whatnot. And,
just put another.
It was the same video 3 times, basically, so one of the videos is still there. The other 2 got flagged. So why they didn't flag the 3rd one, I don't know. But
did they take the top ranking one, or did they leave that one?
Actually, I believe the one they left was the middle one, which actually is still #1, and it's on page 1 of Google as well. So that's fine by me.
I'm surprised that Real SEO are writing stuff for that. So they've actually said about the properties don't make any difference, and the channel optimization.
It was their top 10 YouTube myths was
really
what it was.
Wow.
And some of them were accurate or close to accurate. And some of them were accurate, but one of the, like their purpose was accurate, but you still, it was the type of thing that's like, well, yeah, but you still want to do that for other reasons, that kind of thing. But you know, they said that the only thing that mattered was view count and length of the view. And we actually, you know, I posted on there and you know, information that I showed them clearly that, you know, we've taken videos that have 0 views and brought them to #1 without a single view. You know, ahead of videos that had hundreds of views. So, you know, yeah, that's important, but there are other things that are more important, because you can get a video with no views to be #1.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It was surprising they would come out with some of that stuff, because they've got such a big audience as well, and people will just take whatever they say as gospel, and you know, they're like an authority, so they would just believe or whatever, and that's pretty disappointing. I was thinking at first, you know, before you told me about the views, I was thinking maybe they were spammers, just sending thousands of backlinks. No, we don't need views. No, we don't need optimization on the channel. We just send 5,000 backlinks to every hour, and it ranks.
No, they're very white hat. They're just
I know, and they did come out with some.
Right.
Yeah, they come out with some really interesting stuff, but I think they're more sort of geared towards local businesses and the bigger sort of companies and things like that as well, rather than the internet marketers. So that's probably good.
They're partially right. You can definitely rank a video very well on a channel that stinks. I mean, you know, we're not trying to say that you can't, but what we're saying is that it does give you an extra benefit by having that channel that's, you know, strong and powerful. It does give you a benefit. You can have a brand new channel with nothing on it and rank a video. You know, it's still going to work, but you're giving yourself a benefit by sure that's a good, strong channel.
And Denisha asking, what method did you use to rank to rank with bookmarking? So Ray mentioned he used OnlyWire, and he used OnlyWire through the HQ suite because the way we've done it in there, that you can just put in your channel name and it loads all the videos, so you can do multiple ones at one time, or you can delay the time delay and stuff like that on it. And I think he's used the new tool as well a little bit as well. And what software can I use to create multiple videos? And she mentions HydroVid. That's the Walt Bayliss software. I actually like that software because it let you do the call to action and videos at the end, which was
it was that HydroVid that
yeah.
Yeah, and that one does do some of that. In fact, if I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember. I haven't actually used that one in a while.
Yeah.
I think you could. You could change the phone number of the contact, couldn't you?
I can't remember. I used it one time. I never really got into it. I just got so busy with some other stuff, but we were creating products and stuff, that I never got to use that particular tool properly. But I think he's been updating it as well. I haven't used it since the first time.
Yeah, it is a very cool little piece of software.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. It's great for, what it's really good for is, you know, just getting that, you know, other channels to send traffic back to your main video to boost that video, which is a very effective method. It just kind of automates that for you. So you can, it takes it makes it a little bit longer, makes it a little shorter, puts it on multiple channels, and then goes point back to the original. But the big issue is, you know, when you're talking about the videos like the local videos, we're putting a different, you know, phone number on each of those videos, so you really do have to go in and edit that in order to do that particular type of thing. Now, if you want to have them all go to the same channel, to the same phone number, and then sell that video, you know, multiple videos to the same person, then you could certainly do it that way. But yeah, that's the big thing is, you know, if you're going to be changing the phone number, you kind of have to do it in an actual edit.
Yeah. And Skip Martin is asking YouTube AdWords, any opinion on that? Do you use YouTube AdWords very often, or?
Absolutely. That is what we've replaced any other, you know, the VagX's of the world, the Fiverr's use. We've completely replaced by using AdWords.
Excellent.
And, you know, a great example of that I don't know if I brought it up here, but back when we were first, you know, really starting to experiment with that, we took a video, and that's how we got views to it, was through using the promoted videos, the AdWords. and we spent the same $5. We did $5 a day, and the second day, so we'd spent $10 at that point. Actually, I don't think it was quite $10. I think it was like maybe 8 of the $10. And not only did we get like 500 views for the video, but we sold $300 worth of the product through the ad. So instead of just throwing money at Fiverr to get, random views, we actually made, $290 instead of spending $5 or $10. So it was very, very effective for that. And of course, like I tell people, think of it as just a new resource to get views at first. But if the ad starts bringing money back in, keep it going. There's no reason to turn it off if you're making money back from it, or or at that point, maybe increase the amount of money you're spending each day, if it's bringing back money directly. And if it's not, just think of it as you paid for views and turn it off. And you've lost nothing, because you probably would have spent that on Fiverr or MagX or whatever to do the same type of thing. So it's well worth it.
Mm-hmm. And Carlos is asking, how much is the course?
The course is $27. And actually, one thing, Tony, that I'll tell you guys is it opens tomorrow at 11 at $27. However, we're going to open the cart 3 hours early. So those on the West Coast of the U.S., you're going to have to get up real early. But we're going to open it 3 hours early at $17. So you'll be able to get access to that if you so choose.
Very cool. Very cool. Stanley saying, we talked about raise costs, but you're not giving us the price or an order page. I actually mailed this. Stanley, we did a webinar about two or 3 weeks ago, myself and Ray, and I mailed that course when it first was created. I actually twisted Ray's arm and said, look, let me mail this and let my guys in kind of early. And we had a lot of people buying, I think. Yeah, but it was good content, really good content, and because I actually watched some of those case studies as you were posting them into the Video JV group, and some really good stuff.
Sure.
And we had quite a lot of people buy it, I think, from my subscribers anyway, and I've not heard any negative feedback in any way at all. I doubt very much you've even had one refund, unless somebody bought twice by mistake or something like that.
In fact, even though it doesn't come out till tomorrow officially, we ended up, I put it out to my group, you put it out to your group, and we've sold probably altogether, maybe like 300 copies.
Yeah.
We haven't had any refunds.
Yeah.
It's been very good for that. Now, granted, that's kind of a warm group. We'll see. There's probably these serial refunders out there that'll do that, but hopefully not. The last course, actually, we sold. Oh my gosh, we sold over 5,000 copies altogether, and I think we had like 6 refunds, and I can tell you all 6 of them what they were, because one of them was, hey, I accidentally bought twice, or stuff like that. So basically, 5,000 copies with 0 refunds. I mean, it was crazy.
I get that every single time I've got a product. There's always somebody who has bought 2 times. I don't know how it happens or why it happens. I actually had a lady bought 3 times once, and that was the Commando HQ.
A couple times it was YouTube issue or PayPal issue. They hit the button twice or whatever. Yeah. But sometimes it's like 3 months later. They're like, hey, I just bought this, but I bought it 3 months ago.
Okay. Let's see.
Isn't it worth buying twice?
Can gift it to a friend. Okay, let's see. Do you link directly to video with AdWords or landing page first? I'm not sure I understand that question.
That's a great question.
I do
a little bit of both for different purposes. So, for instance, like I've got, in fact, this video right here with my goofy picture there. This video is a free giveaway for a set of graphics. And this one, when I run an ad for this, it actually goes to the web page. But when I'm doing it just for views, I keep it very simple. So I literally just do the promoted videos and just set it to get views. And whatever's in the video itself is the call to action. So literally the call to action for the ad is getting views, and then the video does the rest. but some where we actually set them directly to a page and stuff like that. But in most cases, we're trying to get views and see how it goes, so it doesn't do that. It's just specifically for views. But you can do both, and it works well.
Okay. Okay. I was still confused about the question. I thought when you're doing AdWords on YouTube, it's taking them back to the video. But
yeah, they've got a few different options is what it is. And I'll be honest with you, and I'll say this straight out, I am not an AdWords expert at all. I am a video marketer.
Yeah.
So, I use this as an opportunity to get views, and I do use it to do other things as well, but I'm not by any stretch an AdWords expert, and you don't need to be for getting the promoted videos. We do have a link in the course to a friend of ours who has a course that teaches you very specifically how to get more into AdWords, and he goes into great detail, which I'm actually learning right now, because I'd like to do more of the, do more AdWords with videos that aren't just for getting views, but for purposes. And so he's got a course that Justin and Neil have that in there, and so you can learn, you can become a real expert on that. But it's a little, it's for different purposes. Our purpose is to rank the video for organic stuff, and if we make sales through the ads, that's awesome. Keep funding. But, we're mostly going for organic release. If you want to do more with AdWords, then that course should teach you everything you need to know. And a lot of fun.
Yeah, and Stanley asking what was the name of the software he was using. I think your volume had dropped a little bit. Video Vantage. That was Video Vantage. Video Vantage was the name of it. I think you can still purchase it. I don't know if it's still available or not. I need to look for it myself, actually. I've been meaning to.
Actually, I believe it's still available. Right. And it's funny because when I mentioned it, like in that course, I do mention it, and I have a link to it, and actually I get a support ticket from somebody. I can't believe that you would support that particular software product. It's crap. It does, it caused people to lose videos, blah, blah, blah. And I wrote back to them, and I'm like, well, yeah, because if you abuse it, of course it's going to do that. But, and it does. It has the ability to do crazy things with it, but that's not how I use it. It's just like with anything. If you use it in the right way, it's very, very useful. But if you go crazy with it, like for instance, it does have a tool for creating a whole bunch of wiki backlinks, but I don't use that because I don't need that. But what I use it for is finding other websites that are in that niche of the video that have high PR that I can comment on. And when you use it for that purpose, it's extremely effective because you can find these great sites to do that.
Sounds good. I need to check that out. Let's see. Do you use Twilio for phone numbers?
Yes, that's exactly what I use. Callfire is another one you can use, but I just happen to use Twilio.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And by the way, use Twilio for if you're running into the issue of running out of phone numbers to use for verifying your sites, your channels. You can actually use Twilio for helping with that as well.
That's a good idea. Yeah. And Mike Waterfield asking, does embedding the video on a blog with a video sitemap help? Yep,
absolutely. Again, going out and getting lots of embeds can be a pain in the neck, but it's definitely, it's something that can benefit you. So it's if you've got the ability to do it, you might as well do it. For instance, I don't think I mentioned this particular thing in the course, but maybe I should. Maybe I should add this in there. Is on my blog, whenever I put a video like this video here on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, it automatically posts it to my blog and embeds it without me having to do anything. So anytime you can do that, that's great. My only thing to it was it can be a lot of work to get it embedded in a lot of places for moderate results, and we just haven't needed to do a lot of that to render videos. But by all means, if you've got the ability to do it easily, absolutely, it's definitely something that can help.
Yeah, it doesn't. It helps. It's another backlink going back to your videos anyway. It's just you can automate that from various ways. You can automate that IFTTT and various other ways. using RSS and stuff like that. It's not that hard to do anymore. Let's see what else we got here. Some people asking for replay. I will send out a replay link by email, and we will put it into the YouTube SEO in 2014 webinar series. We're doing these webinars every single week, and there's a specific fan page for the replays for this. Okay, so if you're in the Facebook group as well, you can get access to it from there usually. And if Ray, what's the your Facebook group name again?
It's Online Video Marketers.
Yeah, that's a very, very good group, guys. And if you're not in there, you should join in there as well. It's actually got some great great discussions going on there. Sometimes I pop in just to see what's happening, and it's always good information, and there's some good stuff being shared. It's a good group to join. It's free as well. So you know, it's good to go and see different points of view from different things, because we're all covering different things, but round about the same subject, so you can pick up stuff, and it's good free training. Okay.
And on the other side of that too is I'm also in the HQ group, so anybody who has questions, if you ask them there, they usually pop up on my phone, and I can see them if you mention them there. So.
Yeah, I think I'm going to embed this replay inside the Commando HQ group actually, and we will be able to, if people have got questions, then you can ask in there. That keeps the conversation going, and you can tell them a little bit more about your course and stuff as well, which is always helpful. Okay, let's see. We've still got a lot of questions. I'll try and go through these as quickly as possible, because I know that you've got other things to do. Stanley asking, will you talk about how your program may be applicable to video marketing other than to local marketing and local businesses?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the reason, you know, I know we've kind of skewed in a local direction on a lot of this stuff, but the same things apply to, you know, to affiliate marketing. The same things apply to own products. For instance, here's a great story that I want to share, because this just kind of goes to show you. We worked with a company that they sell training products for athletes. And we did a bunch of videos for, specifically in this case, it was mixed martial artists, and it was training equipment that they create specifically for them. And we ranked some of those videos, and we got it because I was actually managing their YouTube channel at the time. I was building their channel and getting the videos up there. Somebody saw the video on page 1, and they watched the video, and they put a message in the comments, and I commented back, and then they sent me a private message, and I was talking back. They asked a couple questions. I got the questions answered, and they said, well, who do I contact to place an order? I said, well, you can call this guy at this number here. And the guy called and placed a $500,000 order. So,
wow.
You know, and I'm not saying, you know, everybody in here is going to make $500,000 in sales, but the potential is there from a video to be able to make huge sales. And you know, this was a great example of that, because not only did he make a huge sale, but on top of that, this was a guy who was buying the equipment to distribute it throughout the UK, and so he's placing more orders afterwards. So I don't even know what that's worth these days, but it could be worth over $1 million at this point. But you know, he started off with this high 6-figure order and started distribution, all because the video was on page 1, easy to find, and he had never heard of the product before. So it works for products. We do it with affiliate marketing all the time. In fact, that's how I got started. A friend of mine just asked me to do video marketing for one of the big guru launches that were $2,000, and so we put together these videos. And in the first week, I had never made money online. I had helped other people, like local businesses, make money, but I'd never done it for myself, affiliate-wise, except for a few things here and there. And we did these little videos, got them ranked to page 1 ahead of all these gurus who were trying to sell this $2,000 product, and we sold, $20,000 worth in a week. And to me, that was crazy, because I didn't think we'd sell anything. I had no idea it would actually work. And sure enough, it did, and that's why we moved forward and said, holy cow, this can actually make you money. And, the rest is history. So that's how I became much more of an internet marketer for myself, was when we saw that happen. So it works for any of those types of things. The only big difference is, in your descriptions and whatnot, you want to get, for local stuff, you want to get the name, address, and phone number in there and whatnot. You don't need to do that for products and affiliate sales. But other than that, the processes are basically the same thing. It's all about keywords and search.
Yeah, and just a couple of little questions I wanted to cover quickly. Dave is asking the additional bonuses. He can log in and get those, even though he bought the course earlier. Dave, whenever whenever those guys do courses, if we get extra bonuses, then we put them in, and you can log in again and see what is new there. It's the same for all of us when we got some stuff going on. And some bonuses will come in later, or we get another idea and maybe even add some other videos and stuff. But that's quite common, and it will be for everybody who bought first or who came in last. It's still going to be there. Let's see what else we got here. And Dirk's saying if you make sure you logged out of everything, clear cookies and cache. I think he must be talking about the search and click. That seems like a lot of work, Dirk. I would rather just use a tool to do it, or get some other people to do it, because it's going to be faster to get through it.
With the search and click, you're using a variety of other people once, so it's not even an issue. So literally, John Smith in Florida is doing the search and click for you one time.
And it costs what? $2.50 or something you mentioned before cost.
Well, what it is, usually it's about you can get away with 10 cents per click for a person. So you can spend $1 and get 10 people to do it. Yeah. And that's pretty effective.
Really, just 10 people? Wow.
Yep.
I've got to try that.
You may do that more than you may do 5 today, do 10 tomorrow, that kind of thing. So you might spend a few dollars over time because you want to keep doing it. Because here's the thing, and this is something to note is if your video's on page 3 and people are doing search, going to page 3, finding your video, clicking on it, well, when it gets to page 1, you better still be getting searches and clicks at least right away, because otherwise, it's like, oh, wait, when this was on page 3, people were searching and clicking on it. It's on page 1, nobody's clicking now. So once it's there, you're going to want to do that a few times as well, just to keep that going. But again, you're talking. If you spent the $5 that you would have spent at Fiverr, you get quite a few people to do that all the time. It's $1 here, $1 there.
Yeah, Dave is asking about the video jack templates, and with the question mark. I think, Dave, if you're not familiar with Video Jack, it's a product that Neil and Justin were promoting. And it basically is some templates for videos. They've got like actors reading a script, and basically you can just change it. If you want to be lazy like I do, you just change out 2 pieces of text and publish, and basically you've got a video. You've got a unique video. It's really fast, really easy to do as well. You can get that now for $47, I think. Which is
don't remind me of that, because we paid $500 a year at one point for it. Now they'll sell it for $47.
Was it the same version? Or I don't remember what version it was. I remember I did a webinar with Neil and Justin for it, and I know it was mid-ticket, definitely mid-ticket price. I don't remember exactly how much. But they've kind of readjusted the offer with different variations now. With different, they've got premium and platinum templates and that kind of stuff. I don't exactly know what the difference is.
Yeah, it's just 3 different levels. With if you buy the platinum, you get more templates and whatnot. But what it used to be is they used to have 3 different softwares.
Oh, okay.
And now they put it all into one and just give you 3 different levels. But I believe it was $500 a year for each one of those sites. So potentially $1,500 a year to use it. But I think that was the old thing of that's the face value on the site. But when you go to a webinar, you always get it cheaper type of deal. But, I think when we bought it, I believe we bought 2 of the 3, so $1,000.
Wow.
At the time.
Yeah.
Back like a year or 2 ago.
Yeah.
Now you get $47, so it's well worth it at $47.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I got a review copy at the time, but for $47, I think I'm actually going to go and buy it just so I've got it for another year or whatever. Is it for 1 year or that 47?
No, I believe the version that they were selling was just a lifetime
Wow.
lifetime deal.
That's
But
great,
what they're doing to monetize it now, which is actually very cool, is people can sell templates in there. So not only do they have the templates that they've built, but other people can put templates in there, and then you can buy more stuff from them. So I think that's how they're doing it.
That's a very good idea.
To make money off of that. But they're very good.
Yeah.
I've done insurance videos. That was an actual actor talking about insurance. So it's a very high quality video, and then you just put your own graphics and call to action in it, and you're done. So it's very slick.
Yeah. And Rod is asking, how is this course different from YouTube Interactive?
Well, YouTube Interactive is not about ranking videos at all. What that is that's about, like you can see here, we've got a subscribe button in here. So YouTube Interactive is all about taking your videos and putting clickable links into your videos. So literally, you can click on this here, and it will actually take you elsewhere. So you can send people to websites, you can send people to your Facebook, you can send people all sorts of different offers and things like that. And so that's what that teaches, because sadly, while this is one of the coolest things, the ability to put the clickable links in videos is one of the coolest, best tools they've ever added, it's a real pain in the neck to set up.
Mm-hmm.
None of it's super hard, but they make you jump through 50 hoops in order to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that course teaches you how to go through all those hoops, how to set it all up, and then on top of that, it teaches you how to create these graphics, and has graphics built in that you can use, but it teaches you how to edit your videos and add the graphics and how all that works to make it a little more fun, because it's a lot of people that do use this, they might just have text here that says click here, whereas we do buttons, we do animations, and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's a bit about how to edit and how to use graphics and animation in videos, and then how to make them interactive inside YouTube. So, very cool course.
Yeah.
If I don't see it, so I'm a little biased.
And it's quite easy for a newbie to pick up and use straight out of the box.
Yeah, I think so. Again, when you're going through the steps, you're probably going to go, holy crap, I'm going to do all this. But it's, again, none of the steps are super, super hard. It's just you have to go through all the steps. And it's like, how in the world would anybody figure this out?
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't have step-by-step instructions, because I don't think the instructions are on YouTube. I don't think you can get them.
Yeah.
I don't think they get them to you. So it's...
And I guess if they've done it once, then it's going to be faster every time they do it in the future.
Once you do it once, you kind of figure it out. And the great thing is, if you're using the same website, like for instance, I have a website that I use that's kind of a catch-all website. You put pretty much, kind of like the way Amazon can sell anything. I've got kind of a sell anything sort of website, review site. And so once you set it up with that, if you make more channels, you can link to that site, and you don't have to go through all the process. Part of the process.
Yeah.
The toughest part is the part you don't have to do, which is
even okay, and let's see what else. And Dave's saying he uses Sparkle and just changes the pause length between the slides. I guess that's how he's doing some multiple videos. That's a good idea, Dave. Thanks for sharing that. Bob McAllister saying he puts zip codes in tags for local videos. And Herman saying, thanks, Ray.
You can geotag the videos too, so you can actually, there's actually an option to go into the video and geotag the location. So that's also a good local trick.
Yeah. And Herman saying, thanks, Ray. Do your local videos rank easily for a new channel rather than an established one? We kind of covered that, but I think he's meaning more for the local stuff.
Yeah, they do. They rank pretty easily for a new channel as well. If you, in fact, when you start with a new client, they're not going to have a channel, so it's almost always going to be a new channel that you're ranking with. But obviously, you still want to optimize that channel and make it as good as you can, but you can definitely still rank the video without that extra proof. You can still do it quite easily.
And Mike Royce is asking, if you wanted to rank a plumber in Miami, what would you put in the title?
Well, first of all, you always want to do keyword research because you're going to find things that are cool, and keyword research, like I said to somebody earlier, I said keyword research is like the foundation to your house. There's nothing exciting about it, but if it's not there, the house is going to fall over. So, it's a matter of doing the research on that because, obviously you could quickly say, well, Plumber Miami, or Miami Plumber. But, you may find that there's a better keyword that's easier to rank for. So it could be something as simple as, oh, people are searching for best Miami Plumber, and that's a great one to go after. So the keyword research is key there. The absolute basic would be just to do Miami Plumber Miami. But again, Miami is a big city, so you may want to find a good niche keyword that can really help. You could find that people are searching very specifically for something like stop drains or water heater replacement. So that's a big thing. Just get in there and really do some keyword research first.
Yeah.
But,
and
we often do go for just the city, and we'll go after. The other one was Ogden Plumber, or Ogden Dentist. So we do go after those types of words as well. But if you can find something cool, go after it. And here's another trick too, because as I mentioned earlier, it's tough to get multiple keywords into a title sometimes. But here's one thing you can do is, go after Miami Plumber, but also go after a searched keyword. So maybe it's stop drains. So you might do something along the lines of how to let's say you find that people are searching how to fix a stopped up drain or something like that. So you could put how to fix a stopped up drain. Miami Plumber shows you how to fix the stop drain. So now you're kind of getting both of those things. So you can initially rank for the easier keyword, but over time rank for the Miami Plumber as well. So that's one thing that we do sometimes is kind of get both of those things into that title so that you can get a little bit of extra oomph on it.
Don't know if you know the answer to this one, but Diane Hill is asking how to get video from an iPhone to Camtasia. Do you know?
Ooh, that's a good question. Honestly, I don't really use Camtasia except when I have to, just to show people certain things. But I've never really done that. I would suggest, if you want to do that, I would just bring this stuff, because I'm not sure if Camtasia will do it directly. So I would use, something along the lines of like iPhoto to bring in the video, and then maybe take it out of there and put it into Camtasia that way. Just work that way. Probably the best direction to go with that. Unless Camtasia, for instance, I use Final Cut. Final Cut will actually take the video directly from the iPhone right into Final Cut. So, and I believe iMovie does that as well. Whether Camtasia does, I'm not positive. So you may want to just use, traditional means to bring it in. Use iPhoto, bring it in, and then drop it into Camtasia. And the other thing too, you may or may not need to convert that first. I'm not sure all the formats that Camtasia takes. So there's a possibility you might have to convert the video using QuickTime or something like that. But chances are, it's MP4s, so chances are Camtasia will take it directly. But fortunately, I'm not really positive on the answer to that.
Okay, and Dean, I thought we had answered this question before, Dean, but if you're still on, he's asking, does your particular channel name add any juice to the equation? We did answer this one.
We never really got to that.
He's asked about 3 times now, so I'm just wondering, did we not answer it or what?
Yeah, we did. You mentioned it, and we answered part of another part of it. I think skipped that part. It can, and again, it goes back to the channel is not going to be super vital to getting the video itself ranked, but having a good, strong channel with a good, strong keyword means that people are going to find it. It can boost the video a little bit, but at the same time, for instance, if you've got a plumber video and the channel is, Joe's Pet Shop, people are going to see that and be confused. So yeah, it makes sense from a human standpoint, but also channels do show up in search. So if you got that channel optimized for that keyword, people may click on the channel and then see all of your videos. So absolutely, go after a keyword in your title of your channel that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the great thing is they've changed the way they do that now, so you can have really cool channel names versus in the old days it was, Miami Plumber, all one word squished together. But now you can actually have, John Smith, Miami Plumber. You can have a good long title for your channel now, which is great.
Yeah.
And by the way, for those who don't know this, your YouTube channel now actually attaches to a Google Plus page. So for instance, if you've got a Google Plus page for a business, they already have a YouTube channel, even if they don't know it, because it automatically creates a YouTube channel for that Google Plus page that was created, and vice versa. If you go into YouTube and you create a channel, a business channel, it's going to create a Google Plus page at the same time. And the problem with that is a lot of times people don't know that. They'll create a Google Plus page, and then they'll go to YouTube, create a YouTube channel, and now you've got a Google Plus page that they use attached to a channel they don't use, and a YouTube channel they use attached to a Google Plus page that they don't use. So that can kind of be conflicting. So just be aware that every time you create a business channel, it's going to attach automatically to a new Google Plus channel and vice versa.
Okay, and do you put the city name in the channel as well? When that's the other part of Dean's question, I guess.
Usually I do.
Yeah.
If it's very specifically a local business, then yeah, we definitely do that.
And a lot of people asking again for a link to the course. Guys, I'm going to mail this when it goes live tomorrow morning, and we will put it into the Facebook group as well. And I would encourage you to go over to Ray's group and join in there as well, because some really good stuff gets shared in there too, because the more you can learn and see different people's viewpoints, and you're going to pick up a lot of good stuff from various people, which I always advise you do anyway. And
absolutely, and it's also a place to share your videos.
Yeah.
So in fact, this is the reason it was actually started, was much more for you to, take your video here and post it in that group for everybody else to go and watch and like and comment on, so that you're getting a variety of those types of things. So feel free to join, post your videos so that others can give you a little.
And Gary's saying that he's got another webinar in 4 minutes. That was about half an hour ago. sorry, Gary. Can you wrap it up? Well, sorry, but a lot of other people have had the question.
We would keep it short, didn't we?
Yeah.
This happened last time. We went 3 hours last time, didn't we?
Yeah. And over time goes, but it's a good thing about the Q&A kind of sessions. I enjoy them. I think they're good fun. Let's see. Video Vantage not available in JVisa. That's a shame. I wanted to get a hold of that one myself. So if it's not in JVisa,
I'll check that out. It was available the other day, so I'll look at it and see if my link goes somewhere. Maybe they took it out of the marketplace, but maybe it's still technically available if you have the link, so I can check it.
Yeah. If you did find a link, would you mind to post it into my Facebook group? You can use your affiliate ID and whatever, and if you just post it in there so people can get it. I want to buy it too anyway. What was the name of the AdWords course? That was the one from Neil and Justin. I can't remember what the name of the course was.
It's it's actually in the back end here, and actually if we could pull this up, we can actually see it. It is under getting views. To load. I have the world's slowest internet, so you'll have to. I can wait while.
Yeah. Okay. Let's cover some other questions while we're waiting for that. Dirk is asking, when you're setting up Gmail accounts, are you using proxies?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Dirk is asking, when you're setting up Gmail accounts, are you using proxies?
Oh, proxies. You know what? I'm not, and I'll tell you why. The main reason is because typically the way that YouTube works now, which is very cool, is that you can have one Gmail account and have 20 channels attached to that Gmail account, and at the same time you can also have managers attached to that account, so you can have people managing your YouTube channel now. So what happens is typically when we work with a new client, they'll already have a Gmail account. They may not have a channel, they'll have a Gmail account. So what we'll do is we'll use theirs, and so it's a different IP anyway. But that's how we typically work it. But when it comes to affiliate marketing, I actually will have, and actually if you go back to mine here, you can see, if I go to, why is it not showing? Something's wacky in YouTubeville here, because it should be showing the other channels. But I've got about 30 YouTube channels attached to this Gmail here.
Yeah.
Here it is, all my channels.
Uh-huh.
So you can see these are all the channels that are attached to just this Gmail account that we have. Some of these we've made and never used. Some of them are actually ones that I manage. And for this one here, this is a client that we manage. Barely. I think we've done one thing for him once. And some of these are just ones that I've created for specific purposes and never used. So there's a lot of stuff attached to this. But yeah, you don't need to really worry about the IPs too much, unless you're doing something really crazy, maybe. But no need for proxies for most of the
Yeah, I love the multi-channel stuff. It just makes life so much easier, and for a lot of things. It's a brilliant idea. They should have done it a long time ago. Okay, so T. Griffith saying, I think he's talking about the iPhone to Camtasia, is that he uploads to Dropbox automatically, and from there he can import it into places like Camtasia. That's a good idea. Thanks for sharing that. Let's see.
The name of that course, by the way, is Video Traffic Takeover.
That's it, yeah. Video Traffic Takeover. We did do a webinar for that one, and there was a lot of interest as well. I don't know how far into that course they are. I believe it was going to be a live sort of webinar course, but I don't know how far they got into it. Whether it must be already started by now, I would imagine. Anyway.
And he said something about that he has a course out of it, so maybe what it is now is maybe this is the course that was made out of those live webinars. I'm not positive yet, but he said that it does cover that, and he actually has another course coming out that's even more advanced. They got a few.
And Dean Hall saying they can't find your group, Facebook.com, online video marketers, Dean.
Oh, it's Facebook.com/groups.
Yeah, groups, yeah.
Online video
marketers. /groups/online video marketers. And you should be able to get in there that way. Let me see. So a lot of people asking what the link is going to be for your course, Ray, and somebody asking if you can open it up right now. Well,
the problem is we probably could open it up right now, but the only issue is then we open it up for other issues that might cause a problem.
Yeah, affiliates don't like that.
Just the way JVQ works, it causes an issue. So.
Yeah, and the affiliates don't like that as well. And let me see. I had a really good question. I'm just trying to find it again. Oh, there's one here as well from Robert Stone. Does Ray have any instructions about keyword research?
In here, this is definitely not a keyword research course, so I don't really get too far into keyword research other than, the fact that it's an important thing that you want to learn how to do. We do have some software in here that does help with that, that we recommend inside of there that you can definitely look into. But for me, keyword research, you just need to find, you can use the keyword planner to get some good ideas. And believe it or not, this is something that people are always surprised by, but there are really, really good keyword research people on Fiverr. And for $5, they will give you ridiculous amounts of information.
Yeah.
Market Samurai and other softwares that are very high end. So that's my recommendation. And most of the people, usually you know your keywords at this point because you've probably done keyword research. You probably have a website you've done keyword research for. And, it's a lot of the same stuff. So if you're doing local plumbing videos and you've got a website, you've already found your keywords. Hopefully, you've done your SEO on your website. You've got the keywords there. And again, for the affiliate marketing stuff, and here's something that works really well. You're an affiliate marketer, go after the name of the product, because most times that's an easy keyword to get, because it's not a hot keyword until the day it opens. It's probably something that was never searched a month ago, so there's no competition really. So you go after the product and then use a modifier. So, you know, Video Vantage bonus, Video Vantage review, Video Vantage demo, and, you know, for those types of things, you don't even have to really do keyword research, because it's just pure logic at that point. You know, but when you get into bigger things, like you want to start selling diet products, that's where you really have to start doing your research and things like that. Sure. So just you want to have good keywords for that. And a lot of the products you sell, they'll help you find keywords too. They may have suggestions for keywords built right into the feeds.
There's a couple of people mentioned Video Curation Pro. That must have been something we were talking about earlier that they were responding to. I can't remember exactly what that would be. Video Curation Pro, I think that was a product by Hugh Hitchcock, if I remember correctly. I can't remember exactly what it did, but I remember that I liked it when I saw it, and don't remember exactly what that was doing. Do you?
I don't recall. I remember the product, but so many things go by that I don't either get. Some I get to try, some I don't even get to look at, so it's tough to remember. But I'm assuming they're talking about creating multiple videos that you know, get out there easily. I think that's what that does. That helps you get videos out there.
And T. Griffith asking what is the name of that tool. I've just taken us so long to get down the questions. I don't even know which one you were talking about. I'm sorry. And Gary is still here. He didn't go to that webinar when he had 4 minutes left to go there. But thanks for sticking with us, Gary. I hope you're getting some good tips listening to what Ray's sharing here. And let's see. I think we're nearly at the end of the questions now, and a lot of people are dropping off. And someone's saying, where can I find Video Jack? Ray, if you've got a link, please drop it in. If you've got a link, feel free to drop that into my
you know what? I'm sure I do, but I have no idea what it is.
I think if you go through some of my emails that go out, I've got a section on the bottom, and Video Jack offer is in there most of the time. It's a big box that tells you about the webinars and stuff like that, and I've got a link in there for Video Jack at $47 because I think it's such a good offer. I just keep it in there all the time. So if you go through any previous emails from me, you should be able to find it. Okay, and Video Curation Pro is Peter Drew's. It's not Hugh Hitchcock's, Peter Drew's product, and it makes videos. That's right, it makes the PowerPoint videos, I think, and then it distributes into.
Yes, okay. Yeah. I do know what that product is now.
Yeah.
I believe it was a Windows-based product, so I barely got to touch it.
Yeah. Okay. And I think he's done a Hangout one as well, that's just come out. I saw something about it last week, a week before. It was around about $1,000. That was kind of pricey for a lot of people, but I don't know what it does. I don't know if it's any good or not. Anyway, that does come to the end of the questions. Now, we had a competition, right? So I'm going to give it to the first person who gets it right. We were talking about product name, and the product name was Tube Director. If you can tell me what kind of software it is, what it does, whoever gets it right first will get a free copy, and I will buy you Ray's course. And
I'll throw the course in there.
Someone saying competing videos SEO. Nope. Shadow Authority implementation. I don't know what that means, but it sounds really intriguing. But it's not that. Retargeting.
I mean, essentially that's the nice way of saying fake news.
Oh, okay. Backlinks to videos. Nope. Most views. Nope. Ranks YouTube videos? No. tags, no. Do you want to give him a clue?
Yes. The clue would be think about the word director more than anything else.
Yeah, and Stanley's is saying how to produce videos, not how to.
Yeah, you're getting closer though.
Making local videos, not how to create videos. It's not a how to. How to direct better videos. Finds out what your competing videos are doing. No, 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 no. Software to create videos. Dean Hall, you got it. It's a software to create videos, yeah, and it uses animated characters, and it's based on some research at Ryan Dice and what was Perry's surname again?
Yep, that was Perry Belcher and
Perry Belcher. Yeah, they had done some research using these sort of goofy characters, and they found it actually increased the conversions, and so that software is built around that research that they had done, that Perry had done with Ryan Dice. Okay, and that one should be ready actually in about 2 weeks if Chris has got it ready for us. So Dean, whenever you remind me, don't let me forget, and Ray will give you a copy of the course as well, and you will get a copy of that software when it comes out. Okay. David Johnson saying Video Jack link is videojacket.com. It's not called Video Jacket. It's called Video Jack, JAC. Video Jack. Yeah, yeah. And Dean's giving me his email. Dean, are you in the Facebook group? If you are in the Facebook group, if you PM me, please, I'll make sure you get that, and we'll make sure that you get access to Ray's course as well. Okay, and we'll get that sorted really quickly for you. If you're not in the Facebook group, then I've taken your email address anyway so that I don't forget. But if you are there, then it's just easier for us to get it to you. Okay. So I think that says we can wrap up. Do you want to finish up with anything there?
Well, I'll finish it off with the line that I love to give at the end of all of these. Everything that we talked about here works, but only if you do.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And, you know, we cover a lot of different ways to do video ranking, guys, from whether it's the softwares that I create, the strategies I create, or whether we're bringing guests in like Holly or Ray. And everybody's got new things, and everybody's got different things. There's more than one way to skin a cat, okay? So don't get confused with, you know, you've got somebody teaching you this one week, and you've got somebody teaching you this another week. There's just various ways to be able to get stuff done and to be able to get videos ranked, okay? You've got to find what works best for you, what's going to work best for you long term, and you know what's going to be the simplest and easiest way for to get things done, okay? And for everybody, it's going to be something different anyway. So I just wanted to cover that because I know that there's going to be a lot of questions maybe in the Facebook group, because we were doing a course last week for a lady called Holly, and Holly's got a fantastic way of ranking Hangouts, and she's using GSA and RankWiz and stuff like that, and you know that was hugely popular, and the bars that she had created and stuff like that. And then we come on here tonight and we're talking about not needing so many backlinks and stuff like that. So I just wanted to cover that so that you can understand and to take away the confusion. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with backlinks. I just find that by the time we get to the point where we're going to use them, most times we don't need them, you know. But they're still very effective. They're still a part of the ranking process as long as you're not doing, you know, crazy things with them that get you into trouble. They're very effective.
Denisha is asking about Video Jack. I'm just going to put it in there quickly. It's Video Jack. Just doesn't have the K at the end. Videojack.com. There you go. And that should be able to find it there. Okay. And Stanley saying, what, there's not one and only perfect way to do things. I have to go out and find out for myself in my own market. Absolutely. But, you know, we're creating stuff all the time. Some of the stuff coming out, it's really hard to keep up because every week there's something new, something great coming out. It's unbelievable sometimes. And it's hard to keep up with. But, you know, that's the beauty of what we do. It's always interesting. There's always new stuff coming out. There's always exciting stuff coming out. Often you'll find there's a whole bunch of hype with specific product creators or specific copywriters, etc. It's just the nature of the business. But if you look beyond that and see what's actually working, and pick an idea that's working and get to use it, you've got to take the action to see if it's working. But I never ever have a strategy that comes from somewhere else without, after you've done it 2 or 3 times, that you don't start adding stuff yourself. It always happens that you think, well, what if I try this, or what if I try that as well? But get something that works and stick to it. If it's working, it's working. And that's the main thing. But you've got to think about the conversions as well. It's not just the rankings. And we were talking about that just before we came on, before we went live and started the broadcast, is that the rankings is only one part of the equation. I mean, rankings is just for traffic. If you're doing AdWords, it's just for traffic. The key thing about this is to think like a marketer and to try and get those conversions, and that's how you're going to make money. Everything else is just the traffic, whether it's using GSA or RankWiz or good optimization on the channel or on the video, etc. You've got to get the other side as well. That's to make people buy. Okay. I think we can probably wrap it up now. And somebody's saying we've talked about so many products, is confused. What's today's product name? What's today? What?
Here's what I say about that is, products will never trump knowledge. And basically what we've got here, this is a training course. So this is, learn knowledge here. And any of the software that you talk about or anything like that is usually something to support the knowledge or to help automate the knowledge. So anything that you're doing with ranking videos, you can do directly yourself here. The software is only going to support you doing that or make you do it quicker when you have lots of things. And so that's the way I look at it. Is knowledge is the power, and the tools just help you. It's like think of a car. A car is a great tool, but if you don't have a direction to go in, it's useless. So you need to learn how to drive. You need to know what direction you're going in before you get in the car and take off. So the car is only useful once you have that knowledge. So that's kind of how this works as well.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up now, Ray, and we'll let you. I'm sure you've got other stuff to get done before your launch tomorrow. A lot of people asking where to get the link and how they're going to get notified. I will send an email out in the morning. My time is going to be evening my time tomorrow. So I will send an email out, and plus we will post links into the Facebook groups, and you'll be able to get it there. Okay. And I think that's us. We can wrap it up. But Ray, thank you very much for your time and for sharing so freely. I'm sure people got a lot of value out of this. There's some great content there. And I hope you did very, very well with your launch. And I hope to see you again soon on here. You're welcome to pop in anytime in our weekly webinars. Sorry, I'm getting really tired now. I can barely speak properly. I've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's now like just gone after midnight here. So about 20 hours awake. So I'm going to head off to bed in a minute. Thank you very much for your time. And guys, we'll put links in there in the Facebook groups, and I will send out an email tomorrow when the course goes live. All right. Thanks, Ray. Cheers.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Cheers. And